to you, all our viewers, and thank you for joining Speak Uganda News tonight. You're watching Record Television with me, SHAM1 Nawakoza, and Tumusimi Claire on the other side of the sign language. We do now start off with the top stories tonight. In our top stories tonight, Government Chief Whip Nankabira speaks out on the heated race of speakership, says the SEC will determine between Kadaga and Olanya. Also tonight, undermining democracy rated at 69%, Afrobarometer report indicates lack of confidence in electoral body. And Chief Justice says Mabirizi did not have a right to ask him to recuse himself from Kyagulanyi Museveni petition. Details and more stories in Speak Uganda tonight. We're live on air on our social media platforms to Record TV Uganda on Facebook, on Twitter at Record TV UG. We do start off with the Bukedi Parliamentary Caucus that has today endorsed the West Budama Central MP Jacob Oboth to run for the office of the Deputy Speaker of the 11th Parliament. The battle for the Deputy Speaker of the 11th Parliament has so far attracted close to 10 MPs who have expressed interest in this seat.
As the battle for Speaker of the 10th Parliament gets tough, the race for Deputy Speaker of Parliament is also catching steam. Today, the incumbent and the elected Member of Parliament from Bukedi sub-region have sat to endorse the bid for the West Budama Central MP, Jacob Oboth to run for the position of Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
We have a candidate who has shown interest to run for the office of the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Oboth, who felt this was the right forum for him to express and put right his candidature to the sub-region. And we have discussed it and advised, and we're looking at all the candidates who are emerging. We felt that Bukedi could also bring him as a candidate for the deputy speakership. So there have been substantively an endorsement, but we have told him to do more consultation with the other places, other members of parliament.
According to the State Minister of East African Affairs, Julius Maganda, who chaired the meeting, by backing the son of the soil, they're not playing a secretarian card.
We cannot say that Bukedi is a tribal, because in Bukedi it constitutes over 20 tribes. So we, as Bukedi, we don't always do our things at a tribal level. It is a sub-regional level. But as a sub-region, you must have a home where you originate, or both originates from Bukedi. And he definitely needs that vote from home. So it is not entirely about tribal.
Oboth told press that the meeting was convened to consult MPs and rallies.
I had the opportunity first to consult with the people from Bukedi, the 7 districts, the new members of parliament elect. I believe doing it formally from here was to reduce what is going on now. First, to seek their mandate over my candidature and also consult them on how best we can be able to put our minds together to win by demonstrating unity. I might come from Bukedi, but we need all regions to support us. It's not about regionalization.
The outspoken legislator, who also chaired the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament for 5 years, is so convinced that MPs will give him massive support to ascend to the office of the Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
I've heard Bukedi, I've learned a lot from them, what their expectations are, especially the new members of Parliament. And I think if you will not see me, you will hear me. If you can't hear me, you will feel me.
Oboth, who has been in Parliament for 10 years on an independent ticket, was re-elected on the NRM flag. He is in contest against Mohammed Insereko, Kampala Central MP, Anita Mongi, Bukedia District MP, Theodore Sechikubo, Luemiaga County MP, among others. Report compiled by Fred Kajubi for Speak Uganda, Record TV.
Now, Ugandans are said to be losing side when it comes to affairs of the Electoral Commission, as a new report from Afrobarometer suggests. According to a survey findings, only 48% of Ugandans trust the works of the Commission, especially when it comes to the elections. To the National Coordinator Afrobarometer, Francis Chibidige, the Commission's confidentiality among Ugandans is declining regardless of the change it has had in its leadership.
This is the new report by Afrobarometer, a pan-African survey research network, and it indicates a slide in the trust given by Ugandans to the Electoral Commission. According to the survey report findings, it's only 48% that have confidence in what the electoral body does. The survey was done between December last year and January 2021 from 124 districts of the country.
47% felt confident that the Commission would be able to organize credible elections, and only 41% thought the Electoral Commission was neutral and not biased.
The findings also show that the confidentiality has nothing to do with the sitting individuals, since the Commission has had a series of chairpersons and its members changed.
But as long as these arguments and the unending violence and accusations and discrediting, it is disheartening that almost a half of the people who go to cast the ballot also think it is not credible.
The same report goes further to indicate that there is growing fear among Ugandans, which accounts for 69%, which undermines the level of democracy. To Chibirige, although there is freedom of speech, assemble and vote, but most Ugandans remain careful about when and with whom they talk about politics.
9% who say that they have to be careful about what they say with regards to politics. So there is something that happens to our levels of freedom when we get to politics. We start to be more careful, more cautious, and that is not good for democracy. The reported fear about political intimidation or violence during elections is higher in high-risk areas than in low or medium-risk areas. So that violence people experience probably has an effect on how they relate with the rest of the electoral process.
Commenting on the happening demographic trajectory, the Citizen Coalition on Electoral Democracy Executive Director Charity Ahimbisiwe says the Electoral Commission and government has all thought to study the grounds and change the way the commission is constituted.
That look, the process of electing electoral commissioners must change to give a chance for Ugandans to participate in that process. That there should be an electoral reform committee that is established by Ugandans. They vote credible people. We could use the Judicial Service Commission. And the Judicial Service Commission, the same way it does for judges, they select names. And based on those names, they give them to the president. And the president decides that, yes, I will work with so-and-so, I'll work with so-and-so and so-and-so, and I will not work with so-and-so.
Story compiled by Paul Matavu for Record TV, Speak Uganda.
Now, the Chief Justice Owiny Dolo in today's Supreme Court sitting has elaborated why he refused to recuse himself from the election petition lodged by the former presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu on allegations of bias, as requested by lawyer Male Mabirizi. According to him, Mabirizi does not have powers to seek his recusal since he was not party to the election petition. Turning up in a total of 8 justices of the Supreme Court, with 1 Justice Kisaja missing on the panel, these made their way to court to get the detailed ruling on the Male Mabirizi application. Male Mabirizi, a city lawyer, petitioned court asking the Chief Justice to recuse himself from the Kyagulanyi 7 petition, having been a litigant from Museveni in an election petition. In his detailed ruling today, Chief Justice Alfonso Owiny Dolo reasoned the decision of not recusing himself, citing that the applicant was not party to the election petition and that he did not seek for a window to be added onto the election petition.
Applying the literal rule of interpretation to the provisions of the law in issue, since it is couched in plain language, devoid of any absurdity or ambiguity, it is unmistakably clear that the locus to move court for the recusal of a judicial officer is exclusively vested in any party to the proceedings. I am unable to appreciate how, even with the most liberal construction of the provision in issue, one could extend this to grant locus to a person who is not a party to the suit or proceedings.
He cites that Mabirizi also failed to give evidence on the alleged bias.
In this case, the applicant, not having been a presidential candidate, was neither a party to presidential election petition number 1 of 2021, now before this court, nor was he granted locus as an intervener in the petition.
The Chief Justice have agreed to the meetings with the first respondent, Museveni attributing it to the invitation from the Church of Uganda bishop, and that the joy he possessed is due to the Janan Lumu commemoration and the roles accorded to him as a Chief Justice that cannot be delegated.
Apart from the applicant finding fault with my happiness at the function and my having stood next to the President during the official photo appearance after the service, the applicant presents no other basis for the alleged apprehension of bias. Indeed, I find the applicant's faulting of my attendance of this event and my evident joy at the occasion quite pedestrian, unfortunate, and most unreasonable. I attended the function not to mourn, but to rejoice and pay homage to the Lord God for his goodness.
Before court gave its ruling, Mabirizi wrote to the Chief Justice arresting the ruling until the decision of the East African Court is given on recusal. This created controversy.
Today I'm arresting your ruling in instance application number 3 of 2021.
You said this morning you wrote a letter arresting the ruling. Do you have powers to arrest a ruling? You made your submissions on your application asking me to recuse myself. I made a ruling that day. You did not arrest me making a ruling.
To Mabirizi, the ruling is illegal and that he is set to challenge it in the East African Court.
The fact that you were his lawyer, he has promoted you to several positions. He made you a judge, he made you a court of justice of appeal, he made you a deputy chief, now a chief justice. And now you are telling us that actually you can do justice. So this ruling is illegal and the process is illegal. We are going to add it on our East African Court list because already we have challenged his decision to refuse to recuse. Now the court is also going to get this one.
Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will deliver a detailed ruling on why they allowed Kyagulanyi to withdraw his election petition against President Museveni. Shamim Nawakoza, Paul Musoke for Speak Uganda, Record TV. Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group CSMAG has made some of the members of Parliament presenting their agenda and tax proposals before the tax bill is released for this financial year 2020-2021 so that the reforms can support women and businesses in the country. Here, it has been discussed that business owners need more sensitization about taxes and also to formalize their businesses if they are to benefit from government projects.
Uganda has over the years fostered women's participation in economy through gender-responsive policy and programs, policy dialogues and advocacy to leverage resources. According to research made in 2019, Uganda leads Africa in countries that have a high number of women-owned enterprise as a percentage of total business owners despite poor entrepreneurial support factors. To date, it's believed that 33.8% of businesses in Uganda belong to women and 85.6% of women in Uganda are in informal employment outside agriculture. Many of these women are engaged in small businesses and earn from hand to mouth as their businesses are largely concentrated in leisure and hospitality economy, especially as bars, hotels, food vendoring on streets, nightclubs, recreation centers, among others. Civil Society Budget Advocacy Group has presented the gender and tax proposal for reforms to members of parliament to support women businesses in Uganda before the tax bills are released in the financial year 2021-2022 tax policies.
Can we segment this micro, the small, the medium enterprises, and then we decide which kind of taxation measures we should be giving to each and every of these segmented businesses.
These have seen need of educating people about taxes.
On the proposal on tax education, I think this is important. I know that it's being done. It may be that it's not being done appropriately, but I think education is a continuous process. And I want to implore all of us to become change agents in this.
Also, business owners have been urged to formalize their business by registering them if they want to benefit from government projects.
Can we concentrate probably on increasing awareness amongst the population, especially women businesses, so that they can have their businesses formalized? And I think these are very good proposals for us to be able to move forward as a country.
These have added that record keeping in business is key, though many people have failed to adopt this for their development. However, these want women banks to be put in place so that women can remain in business.
In making sure that business records are in place. Sometimes you are overtaxed or even undertaxed because records are not there. So there is very urgent need to formalize the businesses, not only in terms of registration, but implore our women to keep records.
It's about women banks. We used to have Finca for women and the other women banks. Although they had men, but majority were women, and accessing credit was easier for women rather than for men.
Story compiled by Grace Nambiro for Record TV, Speak Uganda.
More to our news. The Ghana People's Congress has advised President Museveni to seek court redress if his wisdom serves him right that the opposition rigged his votes in the 2021 general elections. UPC has a thought that this is an inappropriate decision by the president and also has direction to the president and must undertake the decision to go to court instead of lamenting to the public that they consider to be helpless from the elections.
Uganda's second oldest political party, Uganda People's Congress, have advised the President Yoweri Museveni to go to court to seek redress if indeed the opposition cheated the 2021 general elections instead of him lamenting.
Very okay for any person who has made for any elective position come out and complain. It's constitutional, but that complaint should also be within the framework of the law. The president complained, and if he feels the elections were rigged, also courts of law to show the dissatisfaction.
Mzee has also advised Mr. Museveni's government to revive the Public Works Department to help UNRWA in the execution of rehabilitating roads, both in Kampala and upcountry.
Given the state of our roads both in Kampala and the upcountry, we see as UPC the need to revive the Public Works Department because it used to ensure that our sports are on the road, on our highways. It used to ensure that our roads are in good conditions. So that's the same spirit as to why we want government to revive this department.
John Jimmy Musimbi, Record TV, Speak Uganda.
With that, we do take a very short commercial break, but there's still more to come. Stay with us.
Baby, every time I tell you a movie.
Downloading, streaming, DVD take kusimu yo. Win big every day with your TV. Win 200k cash every day. Buli wa moje funa. Luaso wachido kusimu sigino kiria.
Wangula buli daily with your TV channels. Win 200,000 shillings daily and more in prizes. Download the Your TV channels app and enjoy your first month free without using your data. Watch local and international channels, movies, sports, news, and Telemundo all day. Your TV channels. The power is in your hands.
Gavumenti ya Uganda yasesira mu kukozesa obutimba bw'ensiri ng'emu ku ngeri y'okutangira bannayuganda eri omusujja gw'ensiri. Mu kaweefube w'okugaba obutimba bw'ensiri okw'ekikungo okugenda maaso, abatuuze b'omu disitulikiti zino wammanga mugenda kufuna obutimba bw'ensiri okuva nga 2 Ogwokusatu paka nga 24 Ogwokusatu 2021. Buyikwe, Buyende, Iganga, Jinja, Kagadi, Kaliro, Kayunga, Kibale, Chegegwa, Mayuge, Mukono, Neruuka. Weewandiise n'ab'omu makaago okufuna akatimba k'ensiri okuva ku musawo w'ekyalo. buli maka gajja kufuna akatimba k'ensiri. Goba omusujja gw'ensiri mu bulamu bwo ng'osula mu katimba k'ensiri. Obubaka buno bukutusibwako Minisitule y'ebyobulamu.
By the way, Carl, Mother will be visiting us this weekend.
Believe me, I'm counting the minutes. Eureka!
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, and glad you're still watching Speak Uganda News with me, SHAM1 Nawakoza and Claire Tumsime. We do move on with the news as the government chief whip, Ruth Nankabira, has told of NRM MPs aspiring to contest for speakership of the 11th Parliament that they will be subjected to the NRM top organ SEC for scrutiny. Nankabira announced plans to take NRM MPs to Chankwanzi before the election of the Speaker.
While meeting journalists under Uganda Parliamentary Press Association, the government chief whip, Ruth Nankabira, mentioned that the Central Executive Committee of the NRM will make the final decision on who will be the Speaker of the 11th Parliament.
But for NRM, as people express their interest, they know that they will be subjected to appearance to the Central Executive Committee in a meeting. That is part of our rules as NRM. So in the Central Executive Committee, it is to go through the names. Where possible, harmonize, because we don't want people to come out of this exercise when they are bruised.
Recently, Nankabira clashed with the Speaker of Parliament on the floor when she reminded MPs of the 2016 SEC decision to back Olanya for speakership of the 11th Parliament.
So for me, my role now, since I attended the SEC meeting of 2016, I attended many meetings negotiating and harmonizing. It's the statement or the clarification I did. I posted on 3/17. We have a platform for only NRM. Just that. I posted it and I guided and I said, but SEC has to sit. And as far as I know, that SEC of 2016 gave a guidance. That's what I posted. And then it found its way on the floor of Parliament.
She also revealed that the party is organizing a retreat for NRM MPs at Chankwanzi, where they will be inducted.
Right now, we are organizing a retreat in Chankwanzi. As usual again, because normally when the new members of Parliament come in, the NRM welcomes them and then we take them through how things are done. So by the time they come from the retreat, it is an induction carried out by the NRM government, by the NRM party. So we are organizing that.
However, Nankabira called for calm in the speakership campaigns, saying drama and excitement have dominated the process.
So please don't be overexcited. Kindly, don't make the country get excited. You know, you receive calls from people, they are not voters, but they are concerned because this is a very high office. It's a third arm of government.
So far, 4 people have expressed interest to contest for Speaker of the 11th Parliament, including the incumbent Rebecca Kadaga, her deputy Jacob Olanya, Ibrahim Samujunganda for Kira Municipality MP, and the MP-elect for Bukoto Central, Richard Sebamala. Report compiled by Fred Kajubi for Speak Uganda, Record TV.
Thank you, Fred Kajubi. Moving on, about 700 vehicles are reported to be robbed in Uganda's capital, Kampala, which is an average of 2 vehicles per day. According to a police report, published in the Independent magazine on 23rd August last year. However, some Ugandans have invested in technological way of tracking robbed vehicles, which they believe is the efficient way that they can reduce the vice. This has been revealed by Naiga Maria, the Managing Director, Digital Vehicle Tracking Devices, in a one-on-one interview.
Car theft in Uganda, especially the capital Kampala, is a talk of the day, as Kampala loses an average of 2 cars per day. It's against this background that Digital Vehicle Tracking came up with an idea of starting a technological way of monitoring vehicles for Ugandans, which helps in many ways. Talk about rash braking, overspeeding, theft of vehicles, among others, as Naiga Mai, the Director General Digital Vehicle Tracking, puts out.
Some of the drivers that we give our vehicles to, they don't have the discipline of driving well on the roads. They harsh brake, they harsh accelerate. So these are not good driving habits, and they lead to like accidents. So you're able to know even the level of speed at which the car is being driven.
She continues to inform Ugandans that this can also help in reducing wastage, especially on fuel usage, adding that the system offers reports on mileage, so long as one has a tracking device in his vehicle.
We install a fuel level sensor or sensor in a tank of a vehicle or a truck, so you're able to monitor the amount of fuel that is being consumed. So with this system, it is more advanced because it gives different kinds of reports. Reports on mileage, reports on siphoning. Siphoning, I mean, in case fuel is removed from a tank, you're able to know how much was removed, the volume. Like if it is like 10 liters, you're able to see 10 liters. The level of accuracy is about 99%.
Mai continues to say that this works on a smartphone, but in case one loses the smartphone and the vehicle is stolen, can also find a service on a friend's phone by using the app that is in the system.
When we install a tracking device in a client's vehicle, we put for them an application on the phone as well, so they are able to monitor. But what happens when both the car and the phone are stolen at once? We have our logins onto the system. You go to our website and just put in your password under that interface, and you can be able to view the location of the vehicle.
Still monitoring vehicles, Mai says there's another way one can cut off the fuel and resist the vehicle from moving in case it is stolen.
In case of theft, you're able to cut off the fuel because we have that system whereby you just put in your password and then you just lock the car and it doesn't move.
According to the Independent News magazine, police reports show that about 700 vehicles are stolen in the city Kampala, which puts it to an average of 2 vehicles per day. And in 2017 only, about 848 cars were stolen in Kampala, which posed a need for Ugandans to embrace technology. Julius Tukachungurwa, Record TV, Business.
Away from that, preserving the environment is seemingly the only solution that can be used to save it from degradation, especially those that are using old fuel motorbikes and vehicles. In a bid to preserve the environment, the International University of East Africa has launched the electric motorbikes to solve the challenge of saving our environment through their new e-mobility project.
The electric motorbike and vehicle launched by the International University of East Africa came to solve the challenge of environment and high costs, as Yeka explains.
The body is big enough for you to handle a full engine, cylinder, everything, and to even accessorize and put your chain, to put your gear levers, everything. All those buttons have been put down there. They end up using about 40,000, 30,000 to 50,000.
While launching the electric vehicle and motorcycle, Maxwell Otim, Director Science and Research from the Ministry of ICT, who represented the Minister of ICT, says that such innovation will help to preserve the environment because it does not use fuel to bring out air pollution.
Everywhere it's a lot of noise. Now you can imagine if you have this motorcycle. You can walk anywhere. You don't need to close your window because there's too much noise coming from outside. So the environment will be quieter and cleaner. And to me, I think that is very important.
According to Dr. Emeka Kaelzua, the Vice Chancellor of the university, says that this e-mobility is the only solution to clean air pollution, and in this case, the introduction of the e-electric motorcycle.
The electric motorcycle is supposed to be a solution to this. We intend to test it and make it available as an alternative means of transportation for those who use motorcycles in the city. In the near future, we hope that the electronic motorcycles or the electric motorcycles will be the main form of transport.
In addition, he says that in case every person rides the e-electric or motorcycle, especially in Kampala, the center of all motorcycles, it will help reduce air pollution that cause diseases like lung cancer.
Has humongous economic benefit for the country, and it also has environmental benefit because it will help to reduce pollution. And in reducing pollution, it reduces the chances of people falling sick.
Through the help from Motorcare, Florence Sempala Makada, Managing Director Motorcare Uganda, says that this innovation is going to save the environment because the vehicle is not using fuel that can cause bad air pollution. Story compiled by Jacqueline Nantale for Record TV, Speak Uganda.
Thank you for holding. And finally, in sport tonight, Kenya will host the Uganda national hockey men and women's team for friendly matches this weekend. Now, Uganda's team has today arrived in Kenya and hopeful to put up a good performance in the series.
I'm Asime Doreen, a captain of national team hockey. We are prepared and we are ready for the games. Due to the training we've done, we expect to come out with a win.
Personally, I'm going to gain exposure, more experience.
My name is Namso Cassandra. I'm the assistant coach for the ladies team.
This team is very ready. They have been practicing and very hard at work since January of 2021. And I am very confident and I'm proud of them. They have come from far. They have jogged. They have primed their bodies. Right now, I'm sure they are ready. And now we are just waiting for games on Thursday.
This series are very important for us. First of all, to test ourselves against another country. It is very important that our players don't relax. We want to push them so that they can experience other players, experience other styles of playing, experience different types of coaching, experience different weather, different pitches, and that is going to help prepare our players both physically and psychologically for when they are going for bigger tournaments like the African Cup in 2022 January.
I'm Kavuma Stuart Mwanje, second assistant captain, the Uganda national hockey team men. We are prepared. We are so much prepared since we have been doing training for the past 3 months, and I think we are ready for anything that crosses our front, and I know we are going to bring the win. The trophy is ours. The trophy is coming to Uganda.
My name is Baron Michael Matovu. I'm the team manager of the men's hockey team, the men's hockey national team, and we believe we are going to play hard, play strong against the Kenyans, and we expect nothing but victory.
1 minute past 9 p.m. That brings us to the close of Speak Uganda News tonight. I am Shamim Nabakoza and Claire Tumsime, who have been taking you through the news. Good night. Stay tuned.